Hey, hello everybody, it is me, Austin16. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all having a great day, and if not, I'm always praying for you. And as you can see by the title of the video, I will be ranking my top 10 favorite portrait ghosts of Luigi's Mansion, as I just got finished with Luigi's Mansion on my channel as a series. If you guys would like to go check that out, it'll be in the description below, or just press on my channel and go into playlist, and it should be there. Also to note, there are 23 portrait ghosts in total, but I will be just ranking top 10. Maybe somewhere down the line, if I get more subscribers or more viewers, I will definitely be interested in doing a top 23 if you guys are interested. Now that I'm done with that, it's time for me to rank my top 10 favorite portrait ghosts of Luigi's Mansion. And at number 10, at the top of the list, is Mr. Luggs. You can find Mr. Luggs in the dining room of the mansion on the first floor. Mr. Luggs the gluten is 30 years old. He prefers all-you-can-eat buffets up to 3 meals a day. He ate himself to death, and still he was not satisfied. The reason why I chose him at number 10 is because I think he's a very memorable portrait ghost to fight, even though he is optional. You do not have to get him, but he is still pretty, memorable even while being an optional one. I do feel like when I think about this game, this is probably one of the first ghosts to come to mind. I don't know why his appearance stuck with me the most out of some of the portrait ghosts, but he did. Also, you would think with his obese size that he would be pretty tough to get, but I usually get him on the first try, if not for a poison mushroom. And at number 9, we have Nana. I have a soft spot for Nana. In the game, she fully goes by Nana, the scarf-knitting granny. She is 76 years old. You can obviously find her in Nana's room on the second floor. She's still knitting the same scarf she never finished in life. It now stretches up to 871 feet. I also think that she's a pretty sweet ghost. Unlike most ghosts on this game, usually they have kind of like bad intentions or something about them that makes them a little bit evil or want you to capture them. But Nana, she's just a sweet old lady ghost. She just wants to play with you with her yarn and play a little game with you. If you miss any of her chances, she makes you go back outside and re-enter and try to hit her 3 times once again with the yarn. It's just fun times with Nana. I do wish it would make some cookies though. That would be nice. But Nana is pretty sweet. That's why I put her at number 9. And now we have number 8 with Soupy the dozing girl. Soupy is only just 7 years old. You can find her in the guest room on floor 2. What was meant to be a short nap seems to have turned into eternal rest. Despite having a strange name, in my opinion, she is actually pretty terrifying. Ghost children are always pretty terrifying, especially in movies. This might be a bit of a stretch, but I feel like this is one of the ghosts where you're kind of starting to question why are you doing this, and kind of disturbing the peace a little bit. And this is where I kind of start to question Gadd. It's a little girl. It's a little ghost girl. But, I guess I might be thinking about it too hard. But she is a little creepy. And I do like her. She has a very interesting room with it being upside down. And, it has a little bit of backstory of her wetting the bed. And her parents or guardians or whatever coming in and her getting in trouble for wetting the bed again. I also do find it a little interesting that she is one of the last ghosts that you get before starting the end of the game. I always thought that was a little interesting on why they did that. But other than that, that is the reason why I chose her at number 8. And at number 7, we have Bogmire the Cemetery Shadow, a product of the mansion's fear and despair. He's not sure who to fear or what to despair these days. You can find him at the cemetery, and we don't know how old he is. I like to think that he was created by Luigi's fear and despair in this mansion, in this game, of Luigi's own manifestation of fear and despair, his fear of the mansion and the ghost, and his despair from the inside, losing Mario. That backstory in my head alone adds a little more depth and feel to this ghost. Is definitely what adds him to the top 10 of my list at number 7. And also, he's a pretty fun boss to fight. Although I have never been able to defeat him in one go, although I'm sure you can. I was a little unsure if I should put him on here since he is a boss battle, but so is Chauncey, and he's a part of the portrait ghost. We'll talk a little more about that later. And at number 6, we have Henry and Orville, the twin brothers. The twins like to play hide and seek, but since they both hide, the game never seems to end. They are only just 5 years old, and you can find them in the twins' room, the family hallway on the first floor. The twins are pretty fun to play around with, as you have to play hide and seek in order to catch them, and you have to cheat to win because, as the bio stated, that game never ends since they both hide. Also, the twins, they're very creepy children, once again, and they kind of remind me of Zack and Cody from the Disney Channel. And now, at number 5, we have Melody Pianissima, the beautiful pianist. Despite playing moving melodies, she has a Shirley disposition. Oddly enough, she loves playing video games. She is 26 years old, and you can find her in the conservatory. She's at number 5, starting off the top 5 list, because she is in one of my favorite rooms as well, with the conservatory, where you can play the Super Mario Brothers theme song, and she will give you a trivia question on Super Mario Brothers 3 theme song. And she's just very clever. I think she's a very clever ghost, being a musician, and I love music, so she is definitely on my top 5. And despite her throwing music sheets at us, she is nice. Now, with number 4, we have the Clockwork Soldiers, the Toy Platoon. You can find these Clockwork Soldiers in the Clockwork Room, and we do not know how old they are. And they don't even have a bio, so there's that. But despite that, these are probably the coolest ghosts in the game, in my opinion. They're just so awesome in the way they operate with that catchy melody of Luigi's Mansion theme, but just more like toy version, I guess, or like clock version. They all look awesome. They all dressed are pretty awesome-like, and they're pretty clever on how you get them to start up by turning on the clocks. In the Clockwork Room, you turn on the right side clocks, and then you turn on the left side clocks, and that's what activates them to start moving. And I just think that's so clever. And the way they move around with the wind-up toys. I don't know, kind of reminds me of Toy Story a little bit. But also, I can definitely tell, or I can definitely see someone being scared of this as a child, or in their early days playing this game. They look terrifying, but they're also pretty charming and just awesome the way they move together. And the way you defeat them is getting rid of their wind-up parts and eventually being able to suck them up after you get rid of their parts, which is pretty clever and just awesome all around. I would like to know more of the backstory of how these guys were created, or like why are they being haunted or possessed items in this mansion. They are the only ones that do not have an official bio, to my understanding. But they're pretty cool, and that is why they're in the top 5. And now, as I enter into my top 3, is Madame Clairvoyant, the freaky fortune teller. Madame Clairvoyant is 52 years old. You can find her on the first floor in the fortune teller's room, but you don't actually get to capture her until Area 3. Her close connection to the spirit world lets her see 49 days into the future. And the reason why she makes my top 3 is because she has a lot of interesting dialogue that you can go through her, and a lot of lore, and she has a lot of information about Bowser and King Boo, and you just bring her all the Mario items throughout the game, and that's fun. That's a lot of nostalgia for you. Collecting Mario's items like his hat, his star, letter, shoe, all these things that represent Mario, and you bring it to her, and she gives you information, and then she lets you capture her freely. So there's that. And up next, we have an honorable mention. I was not too sure on where to put this, and I don't really count Boolosilis, or however you say it. I like to call him Jumbo Boo. I don't really count him as a portrait ghost, considering we have seen Boos throughout the Mario history, mostly in Super Mario World up to this point. So I don't really count them as actual portrait ghosts. They're more just like Boo. Other words, it would probably be in my top 3, but I don't really count them as, like I said, portrait ghost, even though they have a portrait of themselves. Same with King Boo and Bowser. They just have really just a painting. So that is why Jumbo Boo is in my honorable mentions instead of top list.
I lost.
And here you are with number 2, with Vincent Van Gogh, the starving artist. Vincent Van Gogh is 59 years old. You can find him in the artist studio at 4-3, just before entering into the balcony. Despite failing to sell a painting in nearly 30 years, the stubborn man refuses to let his art die. Now, for Mr. Van Gogh, the reason why I put him at top 2 is because he's literally written or drawn, painted all over the mansion. His work is literally everywhere throughout the mansion. He is the reason why we are going throughout this mansion, capturing all of these ghosts in these rooms to light them up. And I'm not sure if he would be considered to make the family portraits or not. I don't know about that one. I feel like he is another portrait ghost in this game that I'd like to know more of, or know more about, to see, the lore, the backstory of why he's here and how he ended up finding this mansion after just being built a day ago. But those are all the reasons why he is number 2. Here we are with number 1, Chauncey, the spoiled baby. He cries loudly and never sleeps throughout the night. But he was born a ghost, which seems natural. Chauncey is only but 1 year old, but like I said, he was born a ghost. So what happened there? That's a mystery that Nintendo will never be able to tell us. But that is one of the reasons why he is at number 1. And it's just like, you just get deep thoughts into your head of like, why and where do these all ghosts come from, and who are these ghosts? This is really what puts in perspective of this whole game for me, and why I love it so much. It's like they give you a little glimpse of their backstory, and you start to overthink a little bit of how and why all these ghosts are here, and how do they die, or what happened to them. It's almost really dark, but also still lighthearted in a way, which is very nice. And Chauncey is definitely the number 1 thing that I think about when I think of Luigi's Mansion, and also the thing that I show people who haven't played Luigi's Mansion. This is definitely the first thing that I would show them to get them interested. It's definitely an awesome first boss fight of the game. And there we have it, my top 10 favorite portrait ghosts of Luigi's Mansion. Let me know your top 10 or top 5 favorite portrait ghosts of Luigi's Mansion in the comments below. And if you want to check out my Luigi's Mansion series, it'll be in the description below once again. or you can just click on my channel and find it in the playlist somewhere. You can also find more playthroughs there as well if you're interested in any of them. But thank you for watching. This has been Austin16. God bless. Peace out. I'll see you next time.